Alright YouTube, I've been making a video of restoring an old fly rod that this was my grandfather's, and I fished with it several years back. The handle's fallen off of it, and it was all eaten up with beetles. So I went to Mud Hole and got a bunch of supplies and got a basic rod building kit so I can retie all the eyes on this fly rod and put new seats and all kind of new stuff on it, and we'll get this thing back up and running. So I'm going to take you to the process and we'll see how it goes. Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is take off this seat right here. All we got to do is remove some of this hardware out the way, and you will see I'm going to take my Dremel with a little cutoff tool, but you have to be very careful not to cut into this blank here, and just scribe a line all the way down at 2 or 3 spots and just start peeling it, and eventually it'll pop off. Okay, so I got one side done. You can barely see the rod. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can barely see the rod poking through. I don't want to go any further than that, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a screwdriver in here and kind of pry the two differences and see if it'll pop off. What I'm going to do is put another one on the 180 side, and we'll see if that'll do it. And if not, I'll have to cut them in the fourths. Alright, let's see where we're at. See if we can pop some of this open. Oh. Starting to separate. Gotta go a little more right here. Trying to be real careful because this rod is probably about 55 years old, so I don't want to mess up the rod. I'm just trying to take off some of the old components. Oh. I have to cut one more slice out of this one. Got all the hardware off of it now. Now we just got to start cleaning this up, taking all this stuff off, and then taking the old wraps off, taking the old eyes off. And I'm gonna leave the ferrule on here. I'll clean it up. I'll take all the wraps off because we're gonna put new wraps on it, and I'll clean the rod up pretty good, and then we'll start over from scratch. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take an old knife that's not too sharp and start scraping all this stuff off. Being real gentle and just kind of scraping across. I don't want to damage the rod any. I just want to scrape off this top layer, and then we'll smooth it off with some light sanding. Well, after several minutes of trying to remove this arbor, it looks like it's fiberglassed into the blank. So instead of trying to remove it and risk damaging the blank, I'm going to just leave it there, and I will incorporate it into the new arbor and then put the new reel seat, and it'll be totally hidden again with the new reel seat. So I'm going to just leave that there for now, and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to start cutting off all this old wrapping. I'm going to save the original label as much as I can. I'm going to put finish over it to try to keep the label intact as much as I can, but you can tell it's worn quite a bit, but it still gives the original label of the rod, which was 55 something years old back in the day, so it's pretty cool. So I'm going to try to keep it there. Just kind of see if we can unravel this. Okay, that's one wrap down. Let's try to clean this off a little bit. Just going really light.
Got the feeling in your bones, make you feel right at home. Honey, does it well, keep me dancing till I'm dead. Head over heels, feels I miss. The sun has got me on my track. I ain't never looking back. I ain't looking back. I ain't looking back. I ain't looking back.
Okay, we'll take the tip off. I'm going to take a lighter. I'm going to just barely heat this up a little bit and it should come off. You don't have to do it long. See, comes right off. And there's the tip. I'm just going to scrape off that extra glue. And we're good to go. Alright, looks like we got all pieces off of this blank. Just got to clean it up and then we'll start building it up again. Alright, got the blanks all cleaned up. I'll take some 1500 and 2000 grit wet sandpaper. Just kind of lightly brush over these. Just give it a light sanding. Making sure it stays wet. Not going to go over my label. Alright, well, pretty pleased with the outcome of this. Cleaned it up real nice. Gonna go ahead and start getting everything prepped and ready to put the eyes on it.
Hey,